rendering of Lucretius and Jarman's work. So I'm going to put a link to their kind of paper in the chat as well, so people can have access to that text, the script, and just do a bit of bios before I hand over to them. So Enrique, after studying a year abroad, thanks to the granted scholarship, was studying cinematography at California State University in Long Beach. And this abruptly ended, unfortunately, due to the COVID pandemic. And now Enrique is in Spain, currently finishing his MA in film studies. His research interests are focused on the portrayal of the representation of the queer sick body from the outbreak of HIV crisis to the present, as well as the provocations such representations bear on the audience's past and present. He has directed the short film Pasodoble Clásico, winner of the festival held by the University Carlos III of Madrid, pivoting his work as a director to inquiring about the canny queer childhood experience. Joining them is Marta, who studied classics at the University of Salamanca, and during the final year of her BA discovered the potentialities of reception studies and applied to the classical field. And this led her to pursue an MA in classical reception, the reception of the classical world at UCL. After a year of teacher training, she is currently working on her PhD thesis at the University of Salamanca. With it, she aims to explore the Epicurean poetics of Lucretius de Rerum Natura in order to highlight the political dimensions and the implications, the past and the present of the poem through them. Thank you both so much for joining us. I'm going to hand over to you now.
Okay, so Enrique is going to share his screen now.
Sorry, before we start, just a note from the chat. I think the link is locked to the handout.
But don't worry, we are giving access to that later, maybe, because now we want to focus. We just want you to look at it and to see it. And then if you want to engage with the texts or come back to them, you can look at the script. But for now, it has subtitles and everything, so it should be fine. So thank you so much, Marcus, and thank you to the team of Queer on the Classical for putting up this amazing conference and for having us here. I'm going to briefly present our project and the short film you'll be seeing today. And I say that I'm going to present it briefly because although in our proposal we said that its estimated running time was going to be 5 minutes, we got carried away, as one does, so it ended up being 15 minutes. So drawing on a larger interdisciplinary work in progress in which we explore the Epicurean poetics of English film director, stage designer, diarist, artist, gardener, and author Derek Jarman, who died of an AIDS-related illness in 1994, through the remnants of Epicurus himself, but mostly via Lucretius' De Rerum Natura, the present audiovisual piece deals with the representation of the queer body in an epidemic. The name we have given to the whole project, Epicurean Bodies in Revolt, seeks to highlight the political implications, past, present, and future of this Epicurean reading of Jarman we are proposing. Taking our cue from Arnaldo Momigliano's expression Epicureans in Revolt, by which the historian claimed that the people involved in Caesar's conspiracy were persons of Epicurean belief, although now that hypothesis has been rebuked, we think that it's a really wonderful expression that serves to highlight the political implications we see in Epicureanism and in our project in general. Moreover, our title is also informed by a quote from the Mary Nardini Gang Collective sign called Toward the Queerest Insurrection that urges us to become bodies in revolt. So here's also where our focus on the body, which we believe is the ultimate place of the material reality represented in the Rerum Natura, comes to the center of our proposal. So particularly this piece we are presenting today deals with representation of the body in an epidemic using texts from Lucretius' book 3 of the De Rerum Natura that deal with the materiality of the soul, but mostly from his account of the Athenian plague in book 6. And also texts from Jarman's latest journal and scripts, particularly from Blue, a film in which the queer body that had been the epicenter of his filmography. If you think, for example, of his first feature film, Sebastian, that was actually filmed in Latin, and thus offering one of his most straightforward representations of the classical. In blue, that body is dissoluted into an Ives Klein blue screen. So, yeah, in this piece, we focus on these texts because, as Catherine Baldwin states, we think that perhaps queer is also an attempt to rework relationships between identity, contagion, and death, an ethical task of the self, which the advent of AIDS has made so urgent. Well, she was writing by the end of the 90s. So, yeah, and we think that these words particularly can resonate with us in these pandemic circumstances. Moreover, from our understanding of writing as an embodied and social activity, our use of these texts here, embodied by the voices of dear and beloved queer friends, wants to explore the somatic power of this poetry, and that's why they'll be reciting in the original English for Jarman's texts, and from the Spanish prose translation of Lucretius by Valentín Fiol, given that we think that Spanish is but another form of Latin. So we are so thankful to be able to share this piece with you, because we think that working from this creative and artistic perspective has offered us new way to develop critical engagements with the classical text of Lucretius, but also with Jarman's work. And so we hope you enjoy it, and even maybe it inspires someone to finally write a fan fiction with Lucretius' poem, and that is able to convert Lena to Lucretian Epicureanism. And lastly, on a side note, maybe not so sided, I want to tell you that Enrique and I don't live in the same city. And due to mobility restrictions in Spain regarding the pandemic, we have not been able to see each other in person since September. So the way this whole piece has been elaborated feels very queer indeed. I hope you like it.
What need of so much news from abroad, while all that concerns either life or death is all transacting and at work within me. A menudo en las dolencias del cuerpo se extravía el espíritu, se trastoca, delira y a veces un grave letargo lo sumerge en profundo y largo sopor. Se cierran los ojos, cae la cabeza, ni oye las voces ni reconoce los rostros de los que le rodean, llamándole a la vida. Bañadas en lágrimas las mejillas y el rostro. Por tanto, fuerza es confesar que el alma también se disuelve, ya que el contagio del morbo penetra hasta ella, pues dolor y enfermedad, los dos son artífices de la muerte, como nos ha ya demostrado el fin de tanta gente. How are we perceived, if we are to be perceived at all? For the most part, we are invisible. To be going and to have are not eternal. Fight the fear that engenders the beginning, the middle, and the end. Hace falta materia para que crezcan las nuevas generaciones, las cuales, sin embargo, seguirán todas en pos de ti, una vez cumplida su vida. Y no menos que tú, perecieron las anteriores y seguirán pereciendo. Así, los seres van naciendo incesantemente el uno del otro. La vida a nadie se da en propiedad, a todos en usufructo. Mira también hacia atrás, los siglos infinitos que nos predecieron. Cuán poco significan para nosotros. Pues bien, en ellos la naturaleza nos ofrece un espejo del tiempo futuro que seguirá a nuestra muerte. Impatience jaws of the sun, burning with many colors, flick comes through her in bathroom mirrors, fucking with fusion and fashion, dance in the beams of emerald lasers, mating on suburban davits, come splatter nuclear breathers. What a time that was. Observa. Observa. Observa en efecto lo que sucede cada vez los rayos del sol, introduciéndose en la penumbra de una estancia, esparcen en ella la luz. En el mismo haz de rayos luminosos verás mezclarse de 1000 modos una multitud de corpúsculos a través del vacío, y cómo en eterno certamen trabar batallas y escaramuzas, escuadrón contra escuadrón, sin dar tregua, ora juntándose, ora separándose en agitación incesante, de lo cual podrás conjeturar cuál sea este continuo agitarse de los principios en el inmerso vacío. Así, partiendo de los átomos, el movimiento va ascendiendo y emerge poco a poco hacia nuestros sentidos, hasta hacer mover también estos cuerpos que nos son perceptibles en el rayo del sol, a pesar de no ser manifiesto el golpe que produce la moción.
Al principio tenían las cabezas ardientes de fiebre y los 2 ojos enrojecidos con un brillo difuso. Por sus gargantas, ennegrecidas por dentro, rezumaba la sangre. Obstruido de úlceras, el canal de la voz se cerraba. La lengua, intérprete del espíritu, manaba sangre. Debilitada por el mal, tarda en moverse, áspera al tacto. Después, cuando la enfermedad desde la garganta invadía el pecho y afluía hasta el mismo corazón de los enfermos, todos los recintos de la vida vacilaban. El aliento despedía por la boca un fétido hedor, como el que exhalan al descomponerse los cadáveres abandonados. Languidecían luego las fuerzas del alma, languidecía el cuerpo entero, ya en el umbral mismo de la muerte. A los intolerables dolores se añadía una angustiosa congoja, incesante, y quejas mezcladas con gemidos, y un hipo continuo sacudía día y noche los nervios, y sus espasmos deshacían los miembros, fatigando a los ya agotados enfermos. It started with sweats in the night and swollen glands. Then the black cancers spread across their faces. As they fought for breath, tibia and pneumonia hammered their lungs, and toxo at the brain. reflexes crumbled, sweat poured through hair matter like lianas in the tropical forest. Voices slurred, and then were lost forever. My pen chased the story across the page, tossed this way and that in the storm. Indecisa, balbuceaba la medicina, con callado temor, mientras los apestados revolvían sus ardientes ojos, siempre abiertos, privados de sueño. The virus rages fierce. I have no friends now who are not dead or dying. Like a blue frost it caught them. At work, at the cinema, on marches and beaches, in churches on their knees, running, flying, silent or shouting protest. Pero allí lo más triste y lastimero era que, apenas se veía uno presa del contagio, perdía todo ánimo y yacía inmóvil, creyéndose condenado a morir, el corazón henchido de tristeza y pensando solo en la muerte rendía la vida allí mismo. In the roaring waters, I hear the voices of dead friends. Love is life that lasts forever. My heart's memory turns to you. David, Howard, Graham, Terry, Paul. Muchos cuerpos, derribados por la sed y revolcándose por las calles, yacían postrados junto al caño de las fuentes, ahogados por el exceso de la dulce bebida. Los que habían asistido a los suyos sucumbían al contagio y a la fatiga, que aceptaban forzados por su honor y por el suplicante acento de los moribundos, entremezclado con quejas. Los mejores se exponían a esta clase de muerte. El virus ataca la creación, marchita la creatividad, ninguna pasión desbordada, solo estos lentos días de melancolía. He construido este jardín para mis queridos amigos, Howard, Paul, Terence, David, Robert y Ken, y mucho más. Cada una de estas piedras cuenta una vida. No puedo invitarte, lector, a entrar en esta casa. Volvían a sus casas agotados de llanto y gemidos. Después, muchos de ellos se acostaban, entregándose a la desesperación. A nadie podría encontrarse que en aquellos momentos no estuviera afectado o de peste, o de muerte, o de luto. Ex ali salio savidi contagia morbida, inque ali salium, id que vel imprimis cumulabat funere funus, sanguine cibili rem conflant divitiasque, conduplicant avidi caedem caede accumulantes. Fate is the strongest, fate fated fatal. I resign myself to fate, blind fate. We all contemplated suicide. We hoped for euthanasia. We were lulled into believing morphine dispelled pain rather than making it tangible. Carl killed himself. How did he do it? I never asked. It seemed incidental. What did it matter? Unos, asustados de ver las lindes de la muerte, prolongaban su vida cortando con el hierro sus órganos viriles. Algunos, sin manos ni pies, persistían, sin embargo, en vivir. Otros perdían los ojos. Tan profundamente les había penetrado el agudo temor de la muerte. Algunos, incluso, sufrieron el olvido de todas las cosas hasta el punto de no poder reconocerse a sí mismos. All the old taboos of bloodlines and blood banks, blue blood and bad blood, our blood and your blood, I sit here, you sit there. Hubieras visto a veces los inanimados cuerpos de los padres tendidos sobre sus hijos exánimes, o a los hijos expirando sobre sus madres y padres.
The worst of the illness is uncertainty. I've played this scenario back and forth each hour of the day for the last 6 years. Blue transcends the solemn geography of human limits. ¿Cuántos asaltos más podrá soportar mi cuerpo? ¿En qué punto la vida dejará de ser soportable? ¿Cuántas réplicas he de soportar hasta que mi cuerpo roto, sin color, seco, ya no sea capaz de dar respuestas? Las palabras, libres al fin de los renglones de la narrativa, se escapan y merodean por las esquinas esperando atacar el diccionario para restaurar un orden primordial. Ages and aeons quit the room, exploding into timelessness. No entrances or exits now. No need for obituaries or final judgments. We knew that time would end. After tomorrow at sunrise, we scrubbed the floor, and did the washing up, it would not catch us unaware. La muerte había llenado de cuerpos exánimes todos los sagrados santuarios de los dioses. Los templos de los celestiales rebosaban por doquier de cadáveres, pues los guardianes habían llenado de visitantes estos lugares. Poco importaba entonces la religión, ni el poder de los dioses. El presente dolor lo superaba, ni se observaba ya en la ciudad aquel rito fúnebre con que aquel pueblo solía, de antiguos, enterrar a los muertos. Andaba todo sobresaltado, en gran turbación, y cada cual enterraba a los suyos como la ocasión le ofrecía. La súbita necesidad y la pobreza indujeron a muchos horrores. Algunos colocaban a sus parientes en pilas levantadas para otros, con gran griterío, y les aplicaban antorchas, sosteniendo a veces luchas sangrientas antes que abandonar a sus cadáveres.